Welcome to the Right Angle, where we discuss all things writing related. Today, we're going to talk about cover design. I have 5 do's and 5 don'ts to add up to 10 tips for cover design that I'm going to go over in this video. So, without further ado, let's get started. Here's the 10 do's and don'ts for effective cover design. Let's start with the 5 don'ts so we can end on a positive note, shall we? Don't try to recreate a scene from your novel. Simple is better, and recreating an image you have in your mind will not help the reader to make the decision to purchase your book. As you can see here in this mocked up cover that I made, there's a scene. You can see that maybe this girl was left alone somewhere and these guys are flying in to help her. Or maybe she's the bad guy and she's going to go after them, but it's a scene. It's a terrible scene, but it's a scene. Don't do that. It doesn't help anybody. Don't use fonts that aren't standard for your genre. Okay, so this is supposed to be an urban fantasy. And this font, I would say maybe thriller, but probably not even that. It's too bubbly for that. Maybe a comic book. It's hard to say what you would actually use that particular font for. Make sure that when you pick a font, it goes with all the other fonts in your genre. So pick out 50 different books in your genre that are doing well. They're in the top, 500 in their category. And look at the fonts. They're all going to be somewhat consistent. If one of them is different than the others, don't pick that one. You don't need to go with the exact same font as another book. What you need to do is go with the same family. So if all of the fonts in your genre use sans serif, then that's what you want to do. If all of the fonts in your genre use slab serif, then that's what you want to do. Pick something that fits with your genre. Don't paste together a bunch of images in Photoshop, like I did here in this fake cover, this fake mock-up cover. If you're not going to go with a simple design, you shouldn't do it yourself. If you want to use Photoshop to embed numerous images and create a composite for your cover, make sure to take the time to learn the program properly. It takes hundreds or even thousands of hours of education and practice to learn how to use all the features available in a complex program like Photoshop. You don't want to skimp on this step. Learn the software or farm out the project to a professional. It doesn't have to be me. You can find some decent designers on Fiverr or by asking in author groups on Facebook. But find yourself a designer if you can't take the time to learn the program. Don't try to be different. Please don't take that the wrong way. Different can be good. It can be great. But it isn't good or great when it comes to book covers. Readers want to know what they're getting when they pick up a book. If it looks like it's a sci-fi romance, but it's actually a young adult paranormal, you're going to get a bunch of very nasty reviews. Okay, and lastly in our list of don'ts, number 5, don't add bold drop shadows to your text, like I did here. Or even worse, let your text blend into the background so you can't see it at all. If I took this bold drop shadow out, you wouldn't even be able to see that text hardly. You need to choose a contrasting color. Okay, let's get into the do's. Do create a cover that blends in well with other covers in your genre, while still having enough pizzazz to make the reader choose to pick your book over the others. Do choose complementary colors that work well together. The Adobe Color website can give you some idea of what works. I'll put a link in the description. You'll see the purple and the gold. They tend to be good contrasting colors. Do make sure your font stands out against your background and choose fonts that work well for your genre. Again, this font here, a popular style in the urban fantasy genre. Serif and script for romance, bold slab serif or sans serif for thrillers, decorative fonts for children's and fantasy. Look through the books in the top 100 bestseller list and see what type of fonts the majority of the books use. Stick with those styles. You don't need to use the exact same font, but stick to the same family. Do keep your cover simple with only 1 or 2 image elements if you plan to go the DIY route. Do get feedback from other authors in your genre before uploading your new cover to Amazon. Also, and this is a bonus tip, if the cover you create doesn't meet your expectations or the feedback isn't good, consider purchasing a pre-made cover or hiring a designer. There is no shame in outsourcing the work. If you found this video helpful, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.